me. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex. Woo! Welcome, welcome, welcome to another Mindfulness Monday session with your sister, Summer Soulstice, where we study the science of mind, your self-mastery tools on how to master, or how the masters think, their way of being, and the actions in which go forth. And don't forget about your power. Your power. What is your power? The power to withdraw, the power to discern, the power to pack it up, the power of discernment. So, welcome once again to everyone that is tuned in on this snowy, purifying, blissfully cleansing day. Yes. Can we do our inhale and exhale for the week and maybe even the day, especially for all those that are out there traveling right now in all of this plushness. It's like, ooh, because it is coming down. I don't know where you guys are located, but it is coming down here. So let's just do a little bit of inhaling and exhaling. And as I always say, we want to fill up that belly with all good thoughts, with all positive affirmations, positive intentions, positive energies, and all that good stuff. So we're going to breathe in and hold it and exhale it. Woo. And we're going to inhale and exhale it out. And one more time for the mind. How was your week of farsightedness? Because this was your self-mastery tool for last week. Yes. Because what did we talk about last week? It was all about desire. Fire and desire. And how desire can be detrimental if it is not expressed properly, right? So, we then pulled the farsightedness, and it read, I make sure my vision is not limited to what seems to be in front of me. And we talked about what that word seems, right? Can be an uncertainty. It almost breeds doubt in its own way, because it's like, well, it seems, it may seem, but it's like, I don't really know for sure. So we always want to be sure. So anything that seems, it's a little shaky, right? As a master, my eyes are always open for the long-term consequences of action, right? So we are always open, the eyes, and I always say the eye is always open for the long-term consequences of action. Because again, what we always say, the law of attraction is whatever you put out, you shall attract to you. And the law of correspondence is, again, what you put out is coming back to you. So it responds to your energy, and all of your intentions and your affirmations and everything else, your thoughts that you are putting out there into the beautiful etheric field and the universal energy. And then we had our power. Our power last week was to discern, because a lot of us, we actually need to meditate. We need to meditate on having more discernment, calling forth our intuition a little bit more. So the power to discern read, power to discern grants me the valuable tool of subtle, crucial distinctions. This leads me to happy relationships. And I always tell people relationships means just that, relationships. So it's whom you are relating to, and a lot of people miss that point. Relate, okay? Someone that you feel that have the same energy, that are having the same thoughts, that you can relate to. It's like, oh, okay, I understand. A lot of us are not in relationships. We just in ships. Okay, we're just in ships. What ships do? They just sail on by each other. Just say, hey, hi. Every once in a while they connect, and passing by each other. They blow the horn. Hey, how you doing? And they keep it moving. So a lot of us is in these ships, but they definitely not relationships. So you have to be mindful of that. Mindful. Yes. So conscience guides my joyful life. I cannot be shaken. So that's what we dealt with on last week. Farsightedness, meaning your vision, your eye is very clear because you putting out all those good intentions and all that good stuff so that the consequences of your actions will be positive because you're putting out that good positive energy. And we can discern it all and make those crucial distinctions, very, very crucial distinctions of what we're actually seeing, what we're actually feeling, thought, and all of that. And once you know that I always say, you cannot be shaken. So that was last week, and I forgot, let me get out those small little pleasantries. People like to call them shameless plugs, but I'm like, I think that, like that to me is like a negative, energy putting on. I'm putting out what's necessary for you to know. It's like what you need to know. So if you have missed any of these Mindfulness Monday sessions, you can definitely head on over to my YouTube channel, Summer Soulstice. That's 1M SUMER Soulstice, SOULSTICE on YouTube, and that's 2 words because a lot of people say I can't find you. It's like it's 2 words, and make sure you do the 1 N and the U. It's soul. It's all about all of this is coming from a soul. So, and I'm pouring that out to you that way. So, and get your mind right sessions. As I always say, if this is not enough for you and you like, I need to go in deep because there is some stuff that I'm still holding on to and I need to let go of it. How do I do that, sister? How do I do that? Head on over to my website, www.summersoulstice, same spelling, SUMERSOULSTICE.com. And it's on the first page with the little brain that's trying to do some trying to get his mind right too. And you can sign up for a session there because it's necessary. It's time. If you still holding on in 2021 to past stuff and hurt and trauma and pain and all that, it's time to let it go. Time to let it go because it's in the past, right? It's in the past. So, and I always tell you guys, remember, hopefully you all are journaling. And look at this one. This one says, strong women make waves. Woo! Love this one. This is another book given to me by my sister queen, lovely Eileen. Love her. She knows I love these types of books. I love books that have like little sayings on them. So journal. Write down those thoughts. Write down your gratefulness, what you're grateful for every new day when you wake up. Write down 3 things that you are grateful for. Do your affirmations throughout the day. That 369 manifestation is real. So you should be writing down your affirmations throughout the day so that you can manifest, always keeping them here. I actually have, I don't know where it's at right now, but I have my stuff on a timer. I actually have like, it goes off, do-do-do-do-do, affirmation time, do-do-do-do-do, gratefulness time, to make sure that I'm constantly keeping my vibration high so that I can be in the right timelines. Because again, it's all about that elevation to the 5D. 5D. You're trying to level up, all right? So, let's get in and dive on into the lesson for today. Love. The true meaning of love. And sex not necessary for the expression of love. Because a lot of us is going around thinking that, well, this is how I express myself. This is my love that I'm giving. People don't understand love. Love is an action word. It's an action word. It's what are you putting behind love. It's easy to say, oh, I love you. I love you. I love him. I love her. I love he love me. There ain't no action behind it whatsoever. What are you doing? What are you showing? It's a show word. People can throw it around all day just like that. Oh, that's my friend. People like, oh, that's my auntie, my uncle. They not even related. So it's like words can easily be thrown around, but it is the action that is put behind it that really seals the deal. Seals the deal. So let's get into it today. The true meaning of love. And remember, go get this book, The Science of Mind. Powerful, powerful. You want to understand the mind and how it breaks down and what's really real. Okay, what's really going on? Get this book. So the lesson is coming out of today, the true meaning of love. And it reads, the true meaning of love is a wonderful thing, for it is the desire of the soul to express itself in terms of creation. In terms of creation. And we didn't say procreation, in creation. In creation, meaning everything that we see what came out of a desire. It came out of a desire, a love for something. Those trees birth because they want to create and show love. The flowers give off their beautiful colors and fragrances and shapes and sizes because of love. You know, so it's everything that is created was created from a desire of love. And an expression of that. Again, action. Creation is brought about only through the self-givingness of the lover to the object of his love. Yes? This is why when we love people, we will go to the limit. Pay attention here. We will go to the limit to help or serve them. Again, action. To serve them. I lost my. Oh yeah, here we go. This is why when we love people, we'll go to the limit to help or serve them. Nothing is too great. No sacrifice is enough. The true lover gives all and is unhappy in not having still more of him or herself to give to the object of his or her adoration. Ooh, that's so beautiful, right? So beautiful. Because of our emotional nature, love is generally expressed through the sex desire. Now let's pause right there. Because of our emotional nature, because that's what drives this is the emotion, not the logical, intellectual self, the emotional nature of ourselves, the feeling, the subjective mind, which has to do with your opinions and your thoughts and your feelings, not the objective mind, because objective is just what? Facts, right? What is it? Is sex necessary? No. That's a fact. Now, is it necessary for procreation? Absolutely. But is it necessary for the expression and for you to feel well and to operate in a functional, beautiful way? No, absolutely not. I've been actually abstinent for 2.5 years now, and I feel fantastic. I'm not walking around here angry or you know what I mean, with a bad attitude. You guys see me every Monday, and those that see me around town, I'm always smiling. I'm always jovial. I mean, for the moment, don't get me wrong now. We all have our ebbs and flows. We all have the ebbs and flows. But 90% of the time, I'm feeling great. And again, sex has not been a part of my life for the last 2.5 years. And people look at me like I'm insane when I say that. They're like, I could not do it. I just had a doctor's appointment last week, and I said that to the nurse, and she was like, oh my God. She's like, I couldn't do a month. And I was like, yes, you could. Yes, you could, because it's all in here at the end of the day. So I'm like, don't say what you can't do. I tell people there is no such thing as can't, only what you won't do. And mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter, right? Exactly. So, because of our emotional nature, love is generally expressed through the sex desire. But too great an expression of this desire is destructive. Exactly. But too great an expression of this desire is destructive. For it depletes the vitality and demagnetizes the one who overindulges. Now, I know some of you on here is like, sex is healthy, sex is good. Yes, it can be all those things. Again, if you are doing it in the right mindset. It has to be in the right mindset. Are you overindulging in it? Has it become your crutch because anything can become an addiction. We all know that. There's one thing to do something, periodically, or like they say, in moderation is key, right? Moderation is key. So it's like, it's fine if it's not being overindulged. If it's not your crutch and it's your go-to, like, I can't be right unless I'm having sex. I can't get right. That's because this ain't right. That's why. This is not in alignment, shall I say, because right or wrong is relative. But in alignment. So, again, I'm going to read that. But too great an expression of this desire is destructive, for it depletes the vitality and demagnetizes the one who overindulges. This is the meaning and the whole meaning of the story of Samson and Delilah. Excuse me. Did I say Delilah? See, look at that. I said Delilah. Maybe it's supposed to came out that way, right? He that hath an ear, let him hear. All people look, and occasionally someone sees. Exactly. Samson and Delilah. He got so worked up. And what happened to him in the end? Because he overindulged. He got it became his everything. It became the only thing that could bring happiness and joy. And what I tell people, joy is from within. Joy comes from within. Nothing can make you happy. So many of us walking around here like, well, this makes me happy. Nothing can make, it's an allowance. If you say I'm happy, you happy. If you say I am joy and I have joy, happiness and joy is unlimited to me. Okay? I walk in joy. I walk in happiness. I walk in abundance. I walk in love. I am divine love. I am divine light. I am divine life. It just is. That is objective. That is the objective mind, the way it thinks. Everything that you desire, you already have. Again, if you want to have these small pleasures, so be it. But don't overindulge. It is not necessary for love, because love is an action word. It's innate within us. It's creation. It's creating a beautiful piece of artwork. It's creating a beautiful dance. It's creating beautiful written poetry. Okay, that's love. That's love. All right, so let's move on down to sex not necessary to the expression of love. And again, a lot of us is like, well, that's how I express myself. Let's make love, people say. I tell people I want to connect. Okay, let's connect. Let's align. Okay, let's use the power, of sex in the way of connection and sharing of energy. Let's manifest. Let's manifest. That's another reason why, again, I took my old self out of that realm, because it got to a point where that's all you were doing was getting to, the place of orgasm, and then you like, whoo, and you feel good for those 15 seconds, because actually it's only 15 seconds. The orgasm lasts 15 seconds. 15 seconds, that's all we get. And then after that, you feeling good for that moment. Then it's like you go back out into the world and it's like, I'm stressed. Because it's not coming from here. Your joy and happiness is not coming from up in here. Right? So let's read what the text says. The sex relationship is not necessary to the expression of real love. Love is the givingness of the self. And if this givingness is complete, sex will take care of itself. Yes? Because that's like the last on the totem pole. Honestly, it should be. There's so many other priorities before sex should be like, sex should not be at the top. People always say, well, the two things that ruin a relationship is money and sex. But what is sex? What happens in sex? It's a connection, right? So my thing is, if you're not connecting here and here, meaning intellectually, for me, that mind and heart connection to someone, whether you having good sex or not, the relationship is not going to work because it can't fix it. It ain't going to hold it together. Because you can go out and have great sex with a lot of beings. Okay, if you just talking about the physical, the physical connection of it. But to me, that's so like, that's so low vibrational. I'm at a completely different way of being and thinking in my mind when it comes to sex. I'm like, I want to manifest, like I said, with someone. I want to connect on a spiritual level. I want us to exchange energy where our energy is so powerful that we're just drawing nothing but greatness and everything that we desire to one another. That's where I'm at with it. It's just like, forget about that little 15 seconds and hoeing and huffing and puffing and and on and ooh. That's great. I remember. I haven't forgotten. That's great. But there's so much more. There's so much more to connect. There's so many more ways to connect. And again, it says if this givingness is complete, sex will take care of itself. It really will. But it has to be complete. The givingness has to be complete. It has to be more than on the physical level. So it says, but energy must have some outlet. And again, a lot of you are saying, but sex, it gives me vitality. It makes me feel good. Yes, it does. Because energy should have some outlet, it says here. Some outlet, but not only sex. That's the key. It is only when the unexpressed desire remains in the subjective that destruction follows in its wake and strews the shores of time with human derelicts. Exactly. It is only when it's unexpressed, meaning unexpressed in any way. You don't understand that desire, that sex energy is some of the most powerful energy, but it needs to be transmuted. You can bring it up from its lowest level and transmute it into being creative, putting it into a passion, putting it into something that you always wanted to do, taking that energy and developing that idea that you had, taking it and putting it into that, put that energy into something you always wanted to create. So many of us is walking around here with all these beautiful ideas. Okay, this creative is holding it into our solar plexus, just there, just sitting there and just sitting there. And it's like, no, put that sexual energy behind that. Take that passion, take that, all of that raw emotion that you have and put it into what you've always wanted to do. Yeah? Put it into that. Welcome to everyone that's watching. Love you guys. So, liberty and license, freedom and bondage, heaven and hell, happiness and misery, good and bad, all are tied up in human desire. Let's read that again. Liberty and license, freedom and bondage, heaven and hell, happiness and memory, good and bad, all are tied up in human desires. Energy is energy and will be expressed or blow the top off. That's what it says. Energy will be expressed or blow the top off, just as a pipe will stand only so much pressure before bursting. A lot of you are walking around here with this pressure and feeling like, again, sex is the only outlet. It's not. It's not. Like, I love to dance. And a lot of times when I'm feeling like, whew, like I can feel the buildup, of pressure. When I'm feeling like I need to express, I go and I do some dance. And I be in here just dancing and flowing. And I'm like, woo. Or going out into nature, taking a beautiful walk and taking in all of creation, all of this love that we have out here. Like, I'm gonna go out in the middle of this snowstorm. I'm just gonna stand out there in a few, probably after this show is over. I'm just gonna go out there and stand and just soak up all of that beauty, soak up all of that energy. Because again, that's another form of connection. That's to me a form of sex. It's the giving and the exchanging of energy, of beautiful positive energy. And that's another thing we have to be mindful, even in having sex, is that a lot of times everyone that you're laying down with is not in the same mindset. You laying down thinking that you're in love, and the other person is laying down like, okay, I'm ready to, what it say here, blow the top off, and that's it. So the energy is not even matching up. You're not even matching up. Because some of you are not relating, you're not in a relationship with this being, and so the energy doesn't know what's happening. So the energy is just all confused. So to me, it's like, if I'm going to connect and I'm going to share in that way, I'm going to make sure that person is in the same mindset as myself. You know, because that's energy. You want to be putting out the right energy. Because that's why some of us, even when the sex is over, you still feeling like, hey, like, yeah, I had that orgasm. I feel good, but I feel terrible. Because that person's energy wasn't correct. Their intention wasn't in alignment with your intention. So you laying there, and it's like, why did I do this? I have wasted my energy. Wasted the energy, because then it's not being expressed. It's not being reciprocated. Okay, because women are we're the receptors, we're the receivers, men are the givers. So we're supposed to take that energy, recycle it, breathe new life into it, birth new life into it, and then give it back. And then give it back to the man so that he can go off and be his powerful, self as well. So, I get excited talking about that. Okay, so millions are daily being blown up mentally and physically through the suppression of desire. Desire is a dynamic force and must be taken into account. It is. It's very strong. Desire is really, really, really strong. And again, most of us express it thinking that it only has to be expressed through sex. It's like, no, express it through love. Let's get some action going outside of the bedroom. Let's get some action. Put some action behind your passion. That's what I'm saying. Action behind your passion. I like that. It goes on to say when sex becomes destructive. And that's what I was just talking about. When sex becomes destructive. Sex desire becomes destructive only when it remains an unexpressed longing. An unexpressed longing. This theory is not put forth to encourage free love. Exactly. To encourage free love, nor to advocate indiscriminate relationships. For neither the one nor the other is believed in. It is stated as a fact patent to any thinking person. Libido, it says, may be expressed through more than one avenue. And this is what I've been saying. Libido can be expressed in more than one avenue of just laying down and having a physical exchange of energy and sweat with someone. It's so much deeper than that. Oh my goodness. I'm like, if you guys have studied Tantra, which I have, I've been studying the art, of sex for so long. Since I was a little girl, I actually like Inglewood Library ain't gonna catch me now, but it's like I used to take books from the library just on sex. From Chinese, Japanese, Hinduism. Like I just was in love because I thought it was an art. It's beautiful. It really is. It can be so beautiful, but it's been so tainted over the years. Oh my God. It's just, people are like overly sexualized. They've taken the art out of it and just made it like I don't even know. It's just nothing. It's just like, okay, this is what we do. Everything is an object of sex in its most lowest form. It's like, no, level up. We gotta level it back up again. It's not something to just be throwing around. This is beautiful energy. This is beautiful connecting energy that you're sharing with someone. This is your temple, yourself, men and women. I'm talking to my brothers and my sisters here. It's not just like, okay, well, I'm gonna do this and that's it. No, you've given out energy. Energy, beautiful energy. Respect it. Respect it is what I said. So it is stated as fact, patent to any person. Libido may be expressed through more than one avenue, through transmutation, freeing life's energies and lifting them into an avenue of, what it says here, constructive expression. Constructive expression. Or through sublimation, transfusing the essence of energy into high action and producing a magnetism that is irresistible and wonderful in its scope. Woo! That was poetry. Now that made me all warm and fuzzy inside. I don't know about you guys, but that made you just listen to those words. You feel the beauty in those words. It's powerful. Again, that's why, it's just, I'm just seeking that we be a little bit more mindful. Some of us is putting in our best effort when we're laying down with some beings that do not deserve the energy in which you are giving. They are undeserving of your power, of your essence. Do you hear what it says here? Transfusing the essence of energy into high action and producing a magnetism that is irresistible. Irresistible. And that's why I'm creating a class, for my sisters on sensuality. Because I've noticed that everyone's into sexuality, sex. Everything is about how to get from here to the bedroom. But a lot of us don't understand the subtleties of sensuality, energy that you can give off just by sitting, by the way that you move, the little subtle movements, a smile, the brightness in your eyes, the look in your eyes, the way you move your hands. It is so many different intricacies to sharing energy and being able to express that desire, but not necessarily the ultimate, expression of it in a physical way, that is. So it's deeper, so much deeper. It says the atmosphere of one thus charged is complete. For the energy then takes the form of real love. So when you transmute it, they're saying, and you put it into high action, and you creating that magnetism that is irresistible, the energy then takes the form of real love, because it is a givingness that is complete. It is a complete givingness. That's when it becomes complete. When you have encompassed all those things, you're in alignment, you are relating with that individual, you are like-minded, you understand the objective in sharing this sexual energy. You've already discussed what it is that you want to manifest. You already, again, have meditated and gotten in the right mind, and your vibration is high. And then you come together with that being, and you guys share that energy, and it's reciprocal, and you're just in the giving and receiving. That is real love. That is what we can say we're making love, because love is already supposed to be there. So it should be, we're making, we're creating it. No, it's like we are expressing it, because we're creating more. We're creating more when we are having this exchange with each other. Isn't that beautiful? Is that not beautiful to you guys? Does that not sound fantastic? I mean, that gets me more excited. That gets me more excited than thinking about the actual physical. And again, I'm not sitting here saying that I have not enjoyed of course, we all have those moments where we have enjoyed, but I'm not sitting up here saying that I have not enjoyed my physical encounters with sex. But once I really got it in mind, okay, and my intellect kicked in, and I really understood, and I've studied, what is transpiring, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't want to have no more of this low vibrational, connection, just blowing the top off, and the energy is just everywhere, and it's not being used properly. It's just put out into the atmosphere with nothing coming back to me. No, that's wasteful. It's wasteful. It's wasteful. So let's not do that anymore. So I'm gonna just read that one more time, because I just got to. I just gotta read it one more time. Okay. Libido may be expressed through more than one avenue: through transmutation, freeing life's energies and lifting them into an avenue of constructive expression, or through sublimation, transfusing the essence of energy into high action and producing a magnetism that is irresistible and wonderful in its scope. For the energy then takes the form of true love. Woo! That was good stuff. That was good stuff. And I'm uber excited. So, the next time that you're feeling, or you have that desire, and that energy is, and you like, That's the only way I need. Just remember those words. Are you creating a magnetism that's irresistible? Are you just exchanging frivolous energy? Are you just trying to blow your top? Or are you trying to create more? Do you want more? Do you want beautiful, reciprocal, positive, powerful, transforming energy with that beautiful being? So, something to be mindful. All right. We're going to inhale and exhale that. I was going to say exhale. I don't know what I was just saying. But it is time for your self-mastery tool for the week. Let's see. What shall we master on this week? Self-mastery tool. Self-mastery tool. Self-mastery. I'm like, angels, spirit guides, and ancient ones tell us, what is the self-mastery tool? What is the self-mastery tool? I get excited with this, but I just like to see what's gonna pop out. And it's like, they said humor this week. Let's read this. What does this one say? As a master, I see myself with gentle, loving eyes and laugh at all my overreactions. Yes. My unreal fears and worries. To let myself see the funny side is to ease the tension. Now, we just talking about tensions, right? Maybe some of you need to laugh a little bit more. You wouldn't be so tense. And it wouldn't lead to frivolous sex, right? Because I know I do. Like, people often say to me something like, you just laugh. You be laughing at, like, stuff that's supposed to be serious. I'm like, says who? Who says this stuff should be serious? Why can't I look at it in humor? Because again, at the end of the day, when you realize that this is all an illusion and that we are creating our reality and that everything that comes to us, we have drawn it to us because of law of attraction, because of our thoughts, yes, because of all the energy that we're putting out, and that it's just corresponding right back on to us from the law of correspondence, you gotta giggle. You gotta giggle and you gotta laugh at some of this stuff because you create it. And you can create anything that you want. So if you don't like what's been coming, what you've been drawing to you, it's time to get your mind right. And that's why I'm saying to you, sign up for a session with your sister so I can help you get your mind right. Because it is time. No more being in the sunken place. It's time to raise up. So you can be in this 5D dimensional plane with the rest of us who are going to be having a good old time, laughing and being humorous. So let's write this down. Let's read it again. As a master, I see myself with gentle, loving eyes and laugh at all my overreactions and unreal fears and worries. To let myself see the funny side is to ease the tension. And yes, sometimes I do a little bit of an accent and people ask me, why do I do it? Because I love it. And sometimes I love this accent, actually. And again, it takes me outside of the average nonsense, of this journey. And it gives me something to enjoy. So, when you look at yourself again with gentle, because my girlfriend always says to me, my sister queen, she always says, be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Look at yourself through gentle. Sometimes you got to go back and laugh at the things that you have done. You got to find the humor in some of the mess that you created for yourself at some of the situations, okay? The situations or entanglements, that you have put yourself into. You got to be like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that I did this. Remember when I did this and this so happened? You got to laugh. Laugh. Because guess what? The past is the past. You can't change it. There's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is transmute that energy, learn from the lesson, and move on. And find the humor in it. Laugh at all your old reactions too. So like I told you guys, I had to laugh at myself the other week when I was almost triggered in ShopRite. When the manager was screaming and yelling at my sister queen, and I'm like, Because people know, like, that's the one thing where I get disconnected. Disrespect to me is like a no. And I don't like anyone being harmed that I'm with. I am an advocate, especially for my sister. I mean, I love my brothers. I love you. I do. But you guys are strong. You can advocate for yourself. But my sisters, like, don't come for my sisters if I'm around. Don't come for my sisters. Because I'm going to be on you like my mother used to say, white on rice. You know? But I did. That woman was screaming and hollering from like 2 lanes over. And I was like, is she talking to you? She talking to us? You know, and she said whatever she said. And I was like, well, go ahead and die. Like, and just went on. And after I was done, I had to laugh at myself. I was like, you just overreacted. You just... It's like, what did you just say to her? What did you say? And I had to laugh at myself. I had to laugh because I definitely overreacted. I allowed that energy to take me out of my zen. I allowed it to take me out of my zen. Now, don't get me wrong. There's going to be instances where that other aspect of you has to come out. But it's in a survival, mode. It's when your life is being attacked. Because other than that, as long as somebody's not putting their hands on you, their words should not mean a thing to you. Because usually it's just an expression of themselves. It's really just an expression of themselves. So you got to laugh and giggle at people. Stay in your zen, because that's where your power is. Stay in your peace. Stay in your calm. Stay in your joy. Because other than that, you giving that being, that thing, whatever it is, your power. It goes right out the window when you get upset and you get crazy and you're yelling and hollering. Ooh, because I used to be that being. That's why people that know me, like, oh my gosh, like, this is a total transformation. You're a total different being. I'm like, I sure am. Because I'm from Baltimore. So, anyone that knows anything about Baltimore, know. Like, so for me to be dancing through the tulips now and, just sending everyone peace and blessings, but it takes work. It takes work. And you have to really, really want to be in peace and in calm 24/7. And it takes, I'm going to tell you something, you're going to cry. You are going to cry your eyeballs out because you got to purge, and release all that mess. You're going to scream. You're going to holler. You may throw some things in your solitude, that is, in your isolation. But this spiritual work, really getting to your place of zen and enlightenment, which takes sometimes a whole lifetime or lifetimes. But you got to work at it. And finding the humor helps. It really does. It's like, why am I overreacting? And it says my unreal fears and worries. Exactly. Why am I having fear? Why am I worried? Again, what? If you know that you are protected and all is well and you are safe, why do you have fear? Why are you worrying? Because what you're projecting out there, you are abundance. You are abundance. You walk in abundance. So there's nothing to worry about. When these, like, again, I always say, and for those that are just tuning in, if you are, thank you, sister, my sister Queen B, from way back, and she knows me, so she can tell you, like, this being that I am now is a completely different being, from before. So, but I'm like, thank you, sis. I actually text her last, like, can you tune in? And she tuned in. Thank you. But, yeah, it's like there is no worrying. There are no fears. It's only your perception. I'm like, you are drawing from an unlimited source with unlimited possibilities. The God source is within you. That's why people say, like, oh my gosh, you can't say that you are God. Why not? If you understand and you've studied the history of how we came to actually be, not the Adam and Eve story, but I'm talking about before, okay, with the ancient ones, then you'll understand that it was actually put into our RNA, the God energy. So you got to draw under that source, and under that source, there is no fear, there is no worry. So again, laugh at your unreal fears and your unreal worries, because it doesn't exist, because you say so. So, let's move on. Let's see what our power is for the week. I got the power. That's going to be my new theme song for this. Whoa, oh, I got the power. All right, what's the power? I was going to sing the other part, but I'm like, nah, we're not going to say it's getting kind of hectic. We're going to leave that out. It ain't getting hectic. It's getting better. It's getting greater. How about that? We getting greater every day. There we go. What's the power? What's the power? Woo! Power, power, power. Power, power, power. Woo! The power to tolerate. And it reads, 2 of the oldest memories embedded within I, the soul, are, what does it say here? I am loved by God. And again, as I always say, however you reference that energy, the absolute, the all, the unity, the everlasting love, the being of light and life, it says I am loved by that energy, loved. And I have a deep capacity to love. These two things, when you remember these 2 things, it says the remembrance of these memories time and again becomes a power. The power to tolerate. And what is tolerate? Is the allowance of something. Just having an allowance, like allowing other people to be who they are, you know? Allowing yourself to flow through the different emotional states of being, but understanding at the end of the day that it's all you and that you can transmute these energies anyway. So tolerate is just an allowance, but it's not continuous, you know? Just like, yeah, you can allow someone to be who they are in your presence, but if you know that energy is not resonating with you and they are of negative energy, you can easily what? Get gone. Leave that person, alone. It's like, okay, I love you for being you, but it ain't resonating with me, so I got to go. Because I do it all the time. And people know, like, I've become a recluse, to most of my friends. And, a lot of, they don't hear from me. They're like, girl, you just dropped off the face of the earth. I'm like, listen, I'm doing this work. I'm doing the work, to just purge so that I can elevate, because I'm all about just manifesting like that. I want to get to that level where I just think something and it happens just like that. So it takes you to isolate yourself. You got to go in that introspection and reflection. Okay, you got to do that. You got to do that. It's like, and it takes, again, it's not no cakewalk. It's not a cakewalk. Some people make spirituality seem like it's just like, oh, people see me, they're like, oh my gosh, she's just so, her energy. She has this great energy. It's like, it took work. It takes work. You got to get out of your ego self. The ego was there for a reason, and it's doing its job. The ego is always going to be there because it's about what you put into your subconscious mind all of these years. So ego going to keep reiterating like, oh, no, you can't do that because, remember, we have all these situations that show that you can't do that. So you got to reprogram the subconscious mind, say, oh, no, yes, I can. Oh, I can do these things. Oh, I can overcome these addictions. I can stop having frivolous sex. I can stop just giving away my good old energy for absolutely nothing in return but 15 seconds of blow my top off. You know what I mean? Like, it takes some work. You got to reprogram that ego and say, hey, listen, you good, and I appreciate you for what your power is, but let me tell you, I'm going to unplug you for a minute so I can upload some new good stuff. So that the next time you come back around, you can just be spewing positive stuff to me. You only going to say what I can do. And you only going to reiterate to me who I know that I am. Which is, let me hear it, because everyone that's been tuning in should know you are what? An unlimited being with unlimited possibilities. The only limitations that we have are the ones that we place what? On ourselves. Because you are perfect. Because you come from what? Perfection. A perfect source. A perfect mind. Intellect, wisdom, all that good stuff. I'm like, wait, let me check my time, because I'll be like, this is where I start going over, which I'm right at the cusp right now. But you got to remember those 2 things. I want you to remember those things, Soul Tribe. 2 of the oldest memories embedded within I, the soul, are I am loved by the universal energy, the essence, the all, God, the creator, the unity, the all in all. The power of love. And I have a deep capacity to love. Remember, the true meaning of love is action. And it starts with Self-love. Loving you. What action have you shown you about how much you love you? What actions are you putting forth to yourself? Forget about sex and expressing it that way because you feeling a lot of your pent up energy and emotions come from the fact that you're not expressing your gifts, that you're not putting out there what you know in here you've been wrestling with it for years. It's been in there for years, something that you wanted to do, and you're just sitting on it. You're sitting on it, and you wonder why you're depressed. You're wondering why you're sad. Because you're holding in that which was given to you. I tell people, if you have an idea, again, and we're not talking about harming or hurting anyone. If you have an idea that has been so strong in you, and every time you turn around, that's what you're thinking, it's God-given. It's divine. That's what it is. And it has to be expressed. So if you don't get it and take it and use it, then next time you turn around, you're going to see it on some flyer somewhere. You're going to see it on a commercial. Or somebody else is going to come to you and be like, Garrett, that's what I did. Or brother, like I just created it. I just started it. And you can be like, God dang it, that was my idea. Oh, and then you're going to beat yourself up. And guess what? You're going to be even more depressed then. So get out here and do it. Know that you are loved. And you have the capacity for deep love. And we said love is action. So let's start putting some action so that we can show true love in our relationships. Not only, again, with ourself first. And then all of the rest of our ships, our friendships, relationships, marriages and all the other ships, that we in. Again, don't just be a ship just sailing by. And then, hey, blowing the horn every once in a while. Nah, you want to be in a relationship. Relate with yourself and others. Whew, can we inhale and exhale on all of that good stuff on today? Can we inhale? Let's just inhale all this good knowledge. There we go. On the count of 3. And a 1. And a 2. And a 3. And exhale. Whew. I receive, and I am grateful. Soul Tribe. Again, if you've missed any portion and you guys were just tuning in and you just like, I need to watch this from the beginning, you can head back over to Inglewood Virtual Recreation, or you can head on over to my YouTube channel, Summer Soulstice, SUMER SOULSTICE. And again, if you are ready to get your mind right, go on over to my website, summersolstice.com, and sign up for a Get Your Mind Right session, because I guarantee that I'm going to get your mind right. And when it's over, you're going to be like, whoo, thank you so much. So be at peace, be loved, be well, and always end with this quote: where there is love, there is no fear. And where there is fear, there is no love. I love you, my soul tribe. Be well, peace, and blessings.